A150. I'm going to do little supplement tutorials because every time, I love this machine. Every time I find something else out about it, I just love it even more. So today's tutorial is going to be how to use the twin needle. So how to use the twin needle is what we're going to talk about today, because I have just made around about 5 t-shirts, 3 for my son, 2 for my husband, and I did the sleeves and the hem like this, just like what normal t-shirts are from the shops. So I actually broke this one while I was just about finishing the 4th t-shirt, so I had to go and buy another one. And so the replacement one that I found was at Spotlight, and it is the Class A, and the ladies there said this is a really good brand of needle. People who do bridal gowns actually make bridal gowns actually use this brand, so I figured that's good enough for me. And it's German, another good signal, and they've been going for 125 years. Check, 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 I'm in. Now, what I figured out, the 2 mil is actually the space in between the needles. So that's what that means. So if you want a wider space in between your needle, just go for a larger mil size. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to set up the Brother sewing machine so you can swap the needles. Now, in the tutorial in the book, it tells you to press this button, but I don't know what I'm doing, because when I press that button, and that's supposed to be your next button, it doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to go back. You press that again and you get that out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up so that it's ready to sew for twin needles. So you have to press this button, so the file button, and you press the middle section minus and plus to move it down to where it says twin needle. Right now it's off. And then you press this button here, press it on, and then you press OK. And then you'll see this little symbol here. It's got 2 needles. So that's telling us we're stitching with 2 needles from now on. Now, there was a lady on YouTube that asked me a question of what happens when your needle falls in there. You can unscrew this and get in there, like there's a screw there, and dive into there, but I always believe that prevention is better than cure. So if you've got a spare piece of fabric nearby, then put that underneath it. So I'm going to use this spare piece of fabric, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift up my footer and put that underneath it. So what that does is that stops the needle from falling down. You're going to find the same recommendation from any sewing site. This is what you do. So as you go to change your needle, make sure you put something underneath the footer to stop the needle from falling, just in case you lose it or don't grab it and therefore it falls down at this point. So we're going to take out the single needle and put that somewhere where we're going to find it easy enough once we've finished our stitching. So there is no wrong way to put this needle in, because the flat part of the needle always goes towards the back. If you try and put it in the other way, it just won't even slide up. So you've got a little black knob here. That's what you loosen and tighten to let the needle, get the needle in place. So it's tight, it's firm, that's sitting in there nicely. Now, this lovely piece comes in your little kit that's in this part here, and there's a little hole here at the top, and it just sits in there with the bigger end at the top. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the second thread as a red thread, so you're going to be able to see what I'm showing you pretty easily. So and now the best way to do this is to actually thread them through the same at the same time. So this one starts through there at the back, goes through from 1 to 2, and this one here goes to number 3. So this is that tension. It's for the bobbin, winding the bobbin. I don't know what that's called, but it does have a tension setting in it, so you want to put the thread through it. So there I have my white there, my red there, and what you want to do is I've tried it a few ways, trust me, this is the way that's the easiest, and you want to go down, you want to thread it like you would normally your machine, And what you want to do is you want to keep this one through the right needle and this one through the left needle. You cannot use the automatic threader because it will break the needles, because it's only, you can only use the automatic threader for one needle threading at a time. So this is something Betty showed me. She said when you're cutting your thread to be able to put it through the needle, make sure you cut your fabric on an angle. So pinch your fingers like that and cut with the snips going on an angle, and that will actually leave a little short angle on the end of the thread, and it supposedly makes it easier to push it through. And I actually have to agree with Betty. It works first time, every time. So I am not questioning that wisdom. Now, make sure you pull enough through. Make sure you've got your thread going from 2, so this one's from 3, but then it goes 4, 5, and then down here. Like on this section here, there's a 3 there, but there's also another 3 here. I want you to just come down and thread it that way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same, pinch our fingers, cut on an angle, and then I like putting a little bit of saliva on the end, and then just to kind of mow down any thread. Ooh, eyeballing, and there you go. And so there we have our left and right. And seriously, that is it. I'm just going to do a little bit of stitching so you can just hear and see how easily this is to work. So then you just make sure there's no clunky sounds. If there's a clunky sound, please stop sewing straight away, because usually what that is you've threaded this wrong and the bobbin is getting congested. So I always start really slow. If you're concerned about leaping off fast, you can adjust the speed over here, the slow, medium, fast. So it doesn't matter how much you press down on your footer, the needle won't go any faster than slow. So that's me with foot all the way down. Can you hear it? It's beautiful. So I'm just gonna and I'm going, you can do your reverse stitch, everything that you would normally do with a single thread, and then I'm going to show you how beautiful that looks. So you've got a nice tension underneath, that looks pretty, and then you've got this nice even thread, no puckering in between, nothing like that. It is just such a beautiful stitch. And I mean, there's no, actually that looks really cool. You know, you could totally do that anyway as a feature. You know, I used to do that with my shirring. I used to do the top thread, when the shirring machine had 5 different threads, I would do rainbow colors for the shirring on all the dresses. But, you know, make that stitch a bit of a feature. But that is how you use your twin needle for the Brother sewing machine. Go and have fun with it. You can do it on, you don't have to do it just on the bottom of a shirt. You can do it on the bottom of any of the designs that we have on our website and any of the ones that you want to use. Make, you know, a feature on the hem of, and then reverse it out of there. Make sure when you're finished with it, you actually put the fabric back underneath it, you loosen the needle, get that out, put the straight needle back in, and just remember when you're finished to put the settings back to, now even when you pull that out, it's going to pull the white one out as well, but when you're finished with the double, make sure you go back to your settings, you go back down, you turn off your twin needle, and then you can just go back to sewing normally. And that's it. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about any other tutorials you'd like done, please put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.